I want to talk to you about my friend Charlie Crawford. He's a 10-time NFR qualifier.
Charlie Crawford, time to just shake it out and win. Got it on him fast, set
there
up.
We are.
Here's a day
nice
money
run.
lead. You betcha 3-8.
That's an absolute perfect run. Timing was perfect from the time the first swing is up. He's got the control. Charlie made it happen by being timed up with his horse with the steer, and being able to not just rope, but to pick that steer's head up without changing the momentum for the heeler at all.
We know his beautiful wife, Jackie, all three of their beautiful children, the founder of the Liberty and Loyalty Foundation, which this year will exceed $1 million raised for military and first responders. I've said it 1,000 times. Charlie, it's time to rope, nod and ride, whip and spur. I want to welcome you to the Charlie Crawford Podcast. Let's ride.
Hello, everybody. I've got some clinic dates opening up. I'm headed to Texas a lot this fall. So September 14th through the 15th in Paradise, Texas, Corey Kuntz and I will be doing a clinic up there. Joey Coach will be the host. For any information on these clinics that are still open, and if you're wanting to go to a clinic, I have the host information pinned up on my social media on Facebook and Instagram. So check out if you're wanting to get a hold of the host to come to one of these clinics. October 12th through the 13th, I'm headed to Wichita Falls, Texas. Corey Kuntz and I will be doing one up there. We're headed to the Crumpler Ranch. November 2nd and 3rd in Abilene, Texas. Sloan Henley and I will be doing a clinic up there. Ty Wilson will be the host. This will be a great clinic for a lot of the American Hero Celebration guys coming up there to want to get sharpened up the week before our big celebration, our big military first responder event that will be the next week up there in Decatur. November 12th and 14th is Corey Kuntz and I's Champion Level Clinic. That will be at NRS in Decatur, Texas. We will have a lot more information coming on that. They will be coming out on social media. We have some promo videos, so a lot more info coming out on that a little bit later. I have a one-day clinic November 23rd in Salado, Texas. Joseph Harrison and I will be doing a clinic up there. Corey Hall will be the contact. She'll be the host. I believe there's just a couple of hidden spots there, so get signed up for that one. I've got one host date that's kind of pending, maybe in San Ynez, California, in the middle of December. So we're waiting to hear back on that. Otherwise, the middle or the end of December if anyone's looking to get sharpened up for next year, or great Christmas gift. So I've had some of those popular in December. And then 2025, I'm already getting clinics on the books. So if there's any information you guys have, Charlie Crawford Training at gmail.com. Just email me if you have any interest in getting on the books for next year. And thank you for all the guys who have been attending my clinics this year. I've never done as many clinics as I have this year. So I truly, from the bottom of my heart, thank everyone that saved their hard-earned money, that's trusted me with their extra money at the end of the month to come to my clinics. I truly appreciate it. They've been great this year. I've had a blast. Thank you for all the hosts that have promoted and done all the hard work to getting all these clinics ready and available. I've had some great clinics this year. It's been wonderful. So thanks for all that. A cold-backed horse. So one thing that I want to talk about a little bit is some of these places now that I've been to, up in the north, things are starting to cool off. And so what do I mean by a cold back horse? Sometimes a cold back horse and a cinchy horse can be kind of in the same terms. So like a cinchy horse is like when you first put on the saddle and you first go to put on the front cinch and they might start like almost pulling back or setting back. I kind of call those a cinchy horse. And if that's the case, I usually kind of throw the lead rope over a bar or over the tie rack, whatever it is you tie to, and wrap it around the lead rope a couple times. That way, if they do set back, they're not going to get themselves hurt and pull back. But when I go to cinch that horse, if I know he's a little bit cinchy, I won't get that front or the back cinch very tight. I'll leave it pretty loose. And then I'll walk him forward, let him take a few steps a lot of times. Then you can kind of cinch it up a little bit as you go, as you get it close to the arena. Sometimes it might be a little cold for whatever reason. You just want to be real aware of that because you don't want to get yourself hurt. You don't want to get anyone else hurt that's around you, and you don't want to get the horse hurt. So you want to be real careful in situations like that on what I would call a cinchy horse. Now, if he's still a little cinchy, maybe when you first get on him, and maybe still a little cold backed, then I might cinch the horse up just a little bit, just enough where he doesn't start just bucking, but just enough to where he's tight enough where your saddle's not going to go roll around. And I'll jip that horse around. And what do I mean by that is I might have a little bit longer lead rope on my halter. And I might jip that horse in a circle around me as I'm on the ground. Get that horse warmed up. Get him to where because maybe he's not I would call this more of an honest bucker, to where they're a little bit honest. They're giving you the signs of the things that once they get warmed up, then they're fine. So you want to get them warmed up, give them every opportunity you can. So when you step on, you're not getting yourself in a bind, because the last thing you want to do is step on that sucker, start bucking without you barely getting a leg over and end up pulling a groin, getting bucked off, or getting hurt. So now your cold back horses, when you go maybe riding around, once you get on and you start walking ahead or maybe start trotting or loping, like you can almost feel the daylight between their back and the back cinch and the back of your saddle, where they're a little bit like humpy, a little bit right there. I don't want to kick them. I just maybe want to just keep going, just let them kind of warm into it a little bit. And once they kind of get that coldness out of their back, then maybe kick into the lope a little bit maybe faster into the lope and the warm up you're trying to do. The main thing you're trying to do with this is you're trying to stay safe with it. You're trying to make sure you're just kind of going, you're checking the list off to make sure that you're giving this horse every opportunity to get his back warm, and to where he's not going to get hurt, you're not going to get hurt. And so then maybe you have one of them horses that once you run that first one on them, they might hump up a little bit. So like I said, those are the ones I want to get real warm. I want to warm them up pretty good. Maybe where I see a little bit of a sweat, I want to make sure that back is real warm before you rope on one. So what I mean by that one that maybe he humps up on the first one. Okay, so then what I do is once I get that horse warmed up, I'm going to cinch him all the way tight. And I never like my front cinch loose or my back cinch loose when I'm heading. I want to make sure that front cinch is real tight. And I always want to make sure that there's a couple of wrinkles in his little belly fat on that back cinch. I want that cinch tight so there's no rolling of that saddle where they don't get sore and you end up getting in a bind. Okay, well, maybe they're not used to that back cinch, so I might warm them up a little bit more, but I want that back cinch tight. So if I know they might want to hump up on that first one, once I get my horse warmed up and I get the cinches tight, I might what we call blow our horse out. And what I mean by that is I'll go ahead and get him to where he starts loping, then I'll go a little faster than the half speed and then almost 3/4 speed. Well, maybe I might just go half speed on the way down the arena. Well, maybe on the way back up the arena, I might go ahead and give him the full Monty. Go ahead and let him go as fast as he can and then slow him back down. So in that way, when you open that horse up, he's had every opportunity to kind of get that freshness off or that cold back warmed up. So in that way, when you nod your head for money, you don't want that horse getting in your way. You don't want him bucking. That's going to cost you money. So when you want to give yourself every opportunity you can, and I would call that an honest horse that's trying to tell you what he kind of needs in order to perform it as well. Now what I would call a dishonest horse. Now, you got to be real careful of these. These are the ones that might buck, say, on the 5th or 6th steer. He might buck, but you never know when he's going to buck. Those are the ones I want to stay away from. But here's something that you want to be real cautious about. So before you give up on the horse, maybe all of a sudden, and I've seen this here recently, where all of a sudden this horse might go to bucking out of nowhere. All of a sudden he's never bucked. Now all of a sudden he starts bucking. Those are the ones you want to go ahead and take to the vet. See if there's something wrong. Well, first check your cinches. Make sure that a goat head didn't get on the bottom of your saddle pad or grass burrs down here in Texas. And make sure no stickers get up underneath there. Make sure you kind of check your equipment. Make sure there's nothing right there that's like pinching them for sure. Make sure you don't have a broken tree. All those things. Check your equipment first. Then after that, if something keeps going on, they have what they call, I've been hearing kissing spine here lately. And it's something that in the last few years I've kind of heard more of. And once they've had that surgery, them horses have quit bucking. So if it's something that all of a sudden your equipment's good and this horse goes to bucking out of nowhere, then maybe take him to the vet and see if there's anything that's going on. And he's trying to tell you he's hurting in a way. But the ones that just buck and you don't know when, those ones, you're trying to stay clear of that for sure. But I would get those horses that do, get them looked at first. There may be something that's bothering him. But the main thing is try to make sure you guys stay safe out there. So I hope this helps. And I know things are starting to cool off in a lot of areas. So I just want to make sure when that does start happening, where everyone stays safe. And thank you all for listening.